My name's Jyoti and I'm from the Landworkers Alliance, which is an organization of farmers. We're a farmers union and we're agroecological farmers, small family farms, community farms, people basically building a positive alternative for how we feed ourselves on this planet. We're part of La Via Campesina, which is an international farmers union representing 300 million farmers across the world, all of whom try and practice agroecological farming and produce the kind of food that really gets to people for basic food security, you know, not the kind of commodity market food that is responsible for quite a lot of climate change, for quite a lot of problems with pesticides and water and things like that in our environment. So we're trying to create that positive alternative. And what I asked you for last year was a bit of fun so that we could do lobbying and like motivate our members, train our members to lobby for the agriculture bill that's going through because of Brexit. Now the agriculture bill has been stalled because of Brexit going on and on, but that's given us quite a window of opportunity, and we've really jumped in there and done quite a lot with the funds that you've given us to get in the case and start saying and spreading the positive message. And our latest briefing is food farming and the climate crisis, and I promise you I'll be asking you lots of questions to brief further and train our members further to lobby on that. But what's happened since you gave us the funds is that there was a big consultation launched about the agriculture bill. We did loads of training for our members in all our different regions about how they could talk to their MPs and talk to civil servants and invite people from DEFRA and our ministry to their farms to talk to them about what they're doing and what positive solutions that creates and how that can be integrated into the agriculture bill. We got more people engaged in the consultation process than any other NGO that actually wrote into the consultations and actually went to the consultation events to try and speak. And as a result, when the agriculture bill came out, we felt like there were a lot of positive things in there supporting the types of farming that we were looking for. Environmentally friendly farming, solutions to climate change, those types of things were reflected in the proposed bill. But we felt like there was still something missing, and what we felt was missing was that integration of food and food justice and accessibility of healthy, affordable food for everyone with the environment, and that's what we frame as agroecology. And so we wanted to bring forward the message that you can look after the environment, you can restore nature, you can mitigate climate change, and we can feed the planet. We can get access to healthy, affordable food for everybody at the same time, and that's what agroecology is about. And so we really wanted to push forward that message and make sure that was central in the bill. So we put a couple amendments forward. We did one on local food strategies and local food infrastructure, and another one on agroecology, and put together some briefing papers and pulled together a big coalition of different organizations to present this agroecology amendment. We managed to get many MPs to sign on to it. At the moment, the last time I looked, we had 15 signed on to that amendment. And then we did another agroecology amendment, which we negotiated and wrote with Labour Front Bench, with Jeremy Corbyn and Sue Hayman and David Drew. And we actually drafted the amendment saying access to healthy, affordable, sustainable agroecological food for all was a public good. And they're saying that they'll put their 3-line whip on it when it does get to the House of Commons. So we're hoping, that might actually pass. And if it doesn't, we also have the other agroecology amendment put forward, which was a cross-party amendment. We had Caroline Lucas from Green Party, then we had Zach Goldsmith and Rebecca Powell from the Conservative Party, and then we had several other Labour MPs also backing that up. And we felt like that stood a chance because it was, really like a collective effort amongst a number of different MPs to really put this forward. We also have people ready in the House of Lords to take forward the agroecology amendment when that goes to the House of Lords, and keep pushing for it there. And we feel like this was a real result that we got both political parties on board. We've talked to Michael Gove several times in the meantime, and Oliver Letwin and Zach Goldsmith, and people that have been pushing us forward to be on the advisory panel for the new emerging schemes that are coming through. So this morning I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning from my farm, got to Birmingham for the advisory panel meeting, sat through all of that, and then came over here and then tried to get over here, so that's why I was late, trying to get through all the traffic. Where we were negotiating what the bones of this, what is this really going to look like when we integrate agroecology into the work streams of DEFRA, when we actually implement this new environmental land management scheme that they've promised off the back of this bill, when we get rid of the direct payments that were going out there to support a very unsustainable food system, how can we put them into the right place to properly transform how we feed ourselves in this country and set an example that can kind of ripple out to elsewhere. And we just keep going to these meetings and plugging away at it. And we've had a great result with getting people in DEFRA out to the farms that are really representing what we mean by this. And when they see it on the ground, then they believe it. And then they come back to us, and then they talk to us about what can we do to scale this up. This is magic. This is what we need to sort out this dire mess we're all in. How can we scale this up? How can we make this not the crazy fringe? How can we make this the dominant way that we feed ourselves in this world? And that's what we've got to make happen. We've got to make it happen quite quickly, really. And so, you know, we're just plugging away at just talking to people and getting them to move a little bit faster and make these programs quite concrete and quite real, because sometimes when you go to these meetings and feel very slow, and they're going through the agenda and they're going through the lines of work and they're putting all these schematics and blueprints and this and that, and you're going, what's the timeline on this exactly? You know, we have 12 years to act to, you know, kind of sort mitigations from food and farming out. You mitigate, you know, climate impacts of food and farming. How long is this process taking? What budget have you got against it? What timelines have you got? What committees have you got going on? You know, what programs are you actually going to implement? And we're putting very concrete programs directly in front of them. You know, we've got a new entrance to agriculture one, a horticulture program, and we've just submitted a very comprehensive climate action program to them for test and trials, and we're asking them to give a budget to it. We're working with a coalition of 12 other organizations that we've pulled together now, which has loads and loads of steps all across the food system to act, and we're actually asking them to give us budget on it and to act according to a timeline to get those emissions down from our food system. 30% of emissions come from our food system. 10% directly from agriculture, but 30% from the globalized food chain that, you know, supplies our food. And we have to do that across the board. That's dealing with trades and tariffs, that's dealing with, you know, our tractors, it's dealing with managing the manure on our farms, to eating local and making sure that local supply is there so that people can eat fresh fruit and veg and transition away from a meat-based, you know, unsustainable diet. So all of these things are part of that package, and they've got to think about it comprehensively, and they have to understand what's at stake there. And so that's what we're doing, and we're using your money to get that message out to them, provide the living example that this is real and this can happen. They just need to move a little bit faster and believe that it can. They have the power to really change it.